Hey, welcome to this quick walkthrough of Ouput Sound's Portal Granular Synthesis Effect plugin. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of it, then I'm going to play it in this track, and then I'll go walk through some presets with you. So I'll use this guitar sound to start with and add a portal effect to the track. So when you open up, you're greeted with this beautiful looking XY window. As you see on the right there, the macros can be assigned to loads of different things in the plugin, and then you can sweep them around with this beautiful XY window. So here's the plugin itself, and the white bits on the top, these are all the granular machine, I guess. So we'll start with the stretch here on the left. So as you pull it down, it slows the audio down. Really impressed with how it sounds. No clicks or pops. Really smooth audio, which is awesome in granular synthesis. So this retrigger point here just tells you when you want to retrigger the audio if it's frozen. So I've got it on an 1/8 at the moment. It goes all the way up to 8 bars. You can turn the sync to host off, so you can just have it freewheeling, which creates a kind of different timbre. Again, super impressed with how smooth it is. Okay, move to the main engine, all the different elements there. It's set default to 8 grains, but you can raise it up to 16 or down to 1. The pitch thing is awesome. You can pitch up or down, and there's lots of different scales that you can pitch it to. So we've got fifths, octaves, pentatonic major, pentatonic minor, and then a whole load of different ones, but I'll set it back to the octaves. I really like the octaves one. So you can pitch it up 3 octaves and down 3 octaves. Again, really impressed, no clicking when I go between the octaves, really smooth, really good programming. There's the offset of the grains. Size of each individual grain from really big there down to much smaller elements. And the density of the grains can be set to a host sync, so they can happen super quickly or in super short space of time. The third section is the delay part. Pretty self-explanatory: low pass, high pass, and feedback, and then the time, which can be again synced to host. Dry and wet over the master, so you can hear the original signal and then the affected signal. The combination of the grain delay and the density, the offset and the speed of the grains means you can create some really cool rhythmic stuff with your source material. Bring the density down, the count of grains down, raise the pitch. So we've stuck with the more tonally recognizable stuff. Let's go for stuff that's a little bit more off the wall, see where we can go just real quick. All of this stuff's automatable. There you go, so that's the whole of the engine, all the kind of various things you can do to the original sound. Let's just set it back to somewhere fairly default. That was before. Okay, so here are the other elements of the engine. These are two modulation kind of LFOs or sequences, and you can assign them by clicking and dragging. Create the shape that you want. There's a bunch of presets I'll show you in a minute, but you can just create your own sequence shape and then drag the cross to whatever element you want to drag it to. Then you have to just decide how much mod you want to put on that element, so you have to go to the little circle that's created and kind of raise or lower the amount that you want to add. And you notice that mod now slows down and speeds up the speed of the grain. You can add this mod to as much or as little of the plugin as you want. There are a bunch of different effects, and you can add the mod to all these effects too. Let's use the other mod just for something different. Add it to the dry and wet of the reverb. So it goes from a dry sound to a wet sound following the sequence. And you have 2 effect slots per sound, so let's add some bit reducer to the second one. Love a bit of bit reducer. And then on top of that we have a kind of global effects with a master compressor and a low pass high pass filter and further dry and wet to the effects. Okay, so let's have a go at putting it into my own track. I'll put it on a track by track for 3 of the tracks, and then I'll put it on the master. So this one is a kind of glitchy preset I've put on the Wurlitzer. So what I would do would be to kind of tweak the engine to how I wanted it, and then I'd use the XY pad to kind of perform the sound so it kind of faded in and out. I've got it sitting on a bus so that instead of having to move the wet and the dry, I can just raise or lower the volume of the bus, which I feel gives a bit more control. Okay, so here's the second track, which is like a electric piano music box, and I've put on this ambient late preset, which I really like. Just turn it on, turn it up a little bit. I love that. So if you look at the macros, you'll see that the pitch is being affected. The green, the purple, it's affecting a whole bunch of different macros, but if you go down to the right, the pitch will go down, it's following the green, and then up and to the left, it'll go up. Just add some lovely kind of chill texture. You can hear that the reverb's being affected by the XY pad as well. Another great thing about this is that, as you can see on the right there, as I'm moving the XY pad around, this automation tracks are moving with it, so you can record the automation, kind of the performance that you give, as it were, which just really shapes and evolves the sound nicely. For this demonstration now, I'll just leave it where it is and move on to the next one. I think I've got 3 drum tracks, and I've got them all bused to one portal. So I'll just turn them all on now. There's the drums. And then I'll just turn on the portal, plug in for the drums. I wanted kind of like a delay sound, a real close delay that kind of gives a tail that's not reverb. I found this guy. Really cool sound. And then of course it's better than delay because you can shape it and move it around. And just add some real nice texture to the drum sound. giving it a bit of, each sound a bit of length, but loads of movement within that. So again, in my track I would shape the sound and record it as I'm doing it and find some good bits that kind of create a good movement of the sound and kind of keep those bits. And then I put one just for fun onto the master track. Just turn it on. Now this has got this kind of cool natural rising tremolo sound. But as you use the X and Y pad, you can change the speed of the rise. So if you look at the yellow mod, it's basically raising the wet element of the grain. So when it gets to the top, it's really tremolo-y. And at the bottom, it's totally dry, so it's the original signal. I just play with the drums a little bit more. Add some lovely texture to the sound. Okay, so now I'll just go back to the original thing and go through some original presets, just so you can hear what different sounds can be made just from a guitar, just with the presets. So they have all these categories lined out. Some of them are instruments, drums, vocals, guitar, but then they have effect types like pitch, delay, glitch, stretch. But start here, best place. This is my favourite one. Just brings a huge ambient wash to the sound. It's the original sound. As I said before, the macros are affecting everything, well, loads of things, but they're affecting the pitch. So if you go down and right, then the pitch goes down. If you go up and left, the pitch goes up, and it just adds an extra level, extra layer of depth with the reverb to the original sound. Here's some others, random. Okay, let's try some stretching and smearing. I love how these sounds are all inherently musical. I think just the way the plugin's set up, you can control it so well that you can shape it to fit in. Right, I've played some granular synthesis effects where it just comes up with a wall of sound and there's, you know, or a specific kind of sound doesn't seem to fit with the music, whereas this seems a lot more controllable. You can fit it into what you're doing a lot better, I think. Let's go for a more glitchy sound. Just fantastic. I'll blend it with the dry a little bit. Smooth off the edges a bit with the reverse. Try something else. I love how you can control the modulation sequences with the XY window as well. It really gives a kind of cohesive sense of control over the music. Like you could hear then as the modulation sped up as I moved the cursor. And if you want to get a little bit more extreme, there's a sound design. Listen to that. All those tones and timbres from one preset. None of it sounds like guitars. This one's making great use of the filter effect. With the dry sound. Fantastic. And then when you kind of find sounds that you like, you can, or create sounds you like, you can save them in the user. Well, thanks for watching. I hope that kind of helped give you a little idea of what Portal can do. It's pretty magnificent. It's a beautiful looking plugin, but you can really wreak havoc with your sounds or use it in a subtle way to create timbral interest and textural interest. I really enjoy playing with this plugin, and I highly recommend that you check it out.